Pisces, what is up, gangsters? Little Pisces. Alright, let's see it. As you can tell, I've been feeling this water vibe today. I don't know. I just love it. Dude, and this is cool. I gotta show you guys. It's a little Neptune up in this bitch. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Yeah, no. Hella water vibes, though. So, let's see what's going on with Pisces. Alright, Pisces. Apparently there's a lot to be said. Alright, gangsta. Alright, now I see why there's a lot to be said. Looks like your ancestors have been trying to get your attention. Perspective. Alright? None of this matters. Zoom out and find common ground, right? So if you find yourself in an energy of disagreement or whatever, remind yourself that it's not really detrimental. It doesn't actually matter. Like, you know, this picture hella reminds me, you see Earth just chilling out there in space, right? It reminds me of in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when the Vogons show up and they just like evaporate the Earth. I don't know how to explain. It just disappeared, right? It didn't even implode. It was just like gone, you know, just matter. Turned straight into energy. It didn't even, whatever. If you've seen it, you've seen it. But it reminds me of that in the sense that like anything that happens on Earth doesn't actually matter to the rest of the universe. It's not like very important to like whatever happens here. Jupiter's not going to be tripping balls about who's president or who's a billionaire or who's what the next celebrity gossip is, who's bed, whatever. None of that matters, right? And so you're being asked to kind of pull back and stop paying so much mind to trivial things that don't matter, right? Really ask yourself, is this important? Does this actually, need my attention? Nothing's that important, right? Water your garden, right? And here I go into my duality with that message that everything is important, okay? But in a different aspect, right? This is nourishment, taking care of your body, being tender with yourself, right? Being gentle, being patient with yourself, getting rest, speaking nice to yourself. That's what matters, because in the scheme of everything, the only thing in the entire universe that holds any weight from here to Jupiter is our energy, what we do, right? We can be a positive force in this world, or we can sit there and tear ourselves down until we're not, and there is such thing as being toxically empathic, right? And that's what happens in like the narcissist empath relationship. Is the empath is toxically empathic, and it's not toxic towards other people, it's toxic towards themselves, because they're depleting themselves to give to others. They're not taking time to be like, okay, I need this. I'm gonna take a time out for myself. I'm gonna go do this and that. It's like taking those steps to water your own personal garden. Cold. Here's where you get a little bit more of that importance, right? Your soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So, you have this gift of intuition. All Pisces do. Water guys. It's like y'all think with your heart, right? It's like where in Aquarius, like, because I'm an Aquarius, right? So, in Aquarius, how we think is we shove aside all of our emotions, and then we're like rationalize, logic, think of that way, right? Water signs, on the other hand, I feel like it's almost a better pursuit as an Aquarius. I'm saying that because what they do is they feel through a situation. How does this feel? Do I feel like this is authentic? Do I feel like this is, it's like you do these check-ins with your higher self, even without even meaning to. It's like you follow the rhythm of your heart. And when your heart tells you something, it's like you listen to that shit. Double mission, okay? Right? If that called if that called card did not say something to you, I hope that this does. That you're a light worker, a starseed, and you serve the world by being your most authentic self, right? Whale and orca elders. Here's where we tap into your natural talents, your divine purpose. You, Malfair, have a message to be heard, whether through poetry, music, art, some sort of way. The divine wants you to use your natural gifts to send messages, okay? The messages that come from inside of your heart, right? The messages that you feel compelled to say, right? Even if to you you're like, well, I don't know if this is going to have a huge impact. It does. And you need to do it, okay? Earth School, all right? On this earth, but not from it, right? Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning, right? And this is, higher learning goes beyond like brain learning, right? Higher learning is like when you step into nature and you allow the trees to kind of communicate with you. And don't tell me you can't, okay? I know you're a Pisces. You can put your hand on a root of a tree and you can feel the energy of that tree and you can communicate. And it may not be in like talking verbally, but you feel that communication between you and the earth, right? You feel that when you pet a cat or when you even touch water, there's a communication that happens with your whole soul. It's not necessarily like third dimensional. You're here to learn how to tap into that. You're here to dive deeper, right? You're here to teach others how to do that. All right. And also speaking your mind. I know it doesn't say that here, but with that none of this matters, zoom out and common ground, don't allow yourself to be passive. If you feel something, like assert your truth. That's really important. Hey, they're flying. All right. We have Lord of Material Work in reverse. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles is typically a connection made through work or money, and somehow like some like roommates or coworkers, or just somebody who like you share finances with in some way. But yeah, it's the connection between money and connection. With the Four of Cups in reverse, it tells me that you feel like it's hard for you to indulge or enjoy yourself. And with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you're being called to talk about that. To talk about aspects of that connection that could be bothering you. This could be family, this could be friends, whatever. But whatever it is, if there's, some sort of connection here and you feel like you're getting the shit end of the stick, well, then you need to assert yourself. Pisces, being empaths, right? You have this thing where you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? You don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to be on that side of like, whatever. You don't want to be a burden to anybody. But none of this matters, right? It goes back to that. And you need to, being liked doesn't matter. Being popular doesn't matter. What actually matters is that you're living and speaking your truth, and that you're not allowing yourself to be depleted or defeated. The Sun card, Leo energy. I love this. So the Sun card is all about abundance, prosperity, and happiness. It literally has no reverse meaning. That's why I flipped it when I saw it. And typically my experience with Leos is they have no reverse meaning. They're pretty fucking cool, right? King of Wands tells me this is like somebody, because King of Wands, King of Fire, right? I'm seeing hella Leo energy. So either you have Leo in your chart or you know a Leo, right? Or you could just learn from the energy of a Leo. Leos have this thing about them where they can just speak their truth in such a way that like they are heard, they're understood. They've got that fire behind their voice, Also, they don't fear people's opinions of them, and that's really cool. They're just kind of like, I'm just living and being my truth. And I feel like there's a lesson to be learned here from that. So learn to assert yourself more, to learn to tap into that. Learn about the fire energies and how they communicate, right? Because you don't necessarily have to have conflict every time you speak your truth. And as an empath, you might fear that. You might fear like, oh, they might not like me, or oh, there might be a fight, or oh, there might, whatever. You have to let that anxiety go, and you have to allow yourself to speak it, fearlessly. That's power, to be able to speak your truth without fear of repercussion. Nine of Swords, right? I feel like, you get defensive, or you feel guarded in regards to speaking your mind sometimes. Like, even if you disagree with people or whatever, it's almost like for you, it would be better to just not say anything and just let the moment pass than to say it. But the thing is you're not being completely honest with yourself when you do that, because your opinion matters. Even though nothing matters. The paradox here. It matters because energetically you matter. Okay? You matter. And that needs to be addressed. That, you matter. And that's what you're going to learn from this Leo energy, is that you can have a sense of self-importance without being a bad person, or without it being a toxic trait. Believe me, I've learned so much from Leos. And I feel like you will benefit a lot, even just by diving deeper into the aspects of what Leos go through, The Chariot in reverse, yeah. So this is an energy, this Three of Pentacles in reverse. You're not wanting to walk away from it. You love it. You love having this, connection or whatever. I think really you just need to communicate something. You just need to be open and, real about your communication in regards to that. Princess of Pentacles. It's your turn to rise up. It's your turn to let go of that lack mentality and to take on your role, right? As a light worker, as a starseed. It's okay to shine bright like a diamond. Okay. Shine bright like a diamond. Yeah, bro, that's you. It's okay. Maybe you've been letting, you forget that the world is a stage and you're here to perform, and I feel like it's time for you to take on your role. It's time for you to be heard. However you're meant to be heard, if you have like if you do music, if you do, if you write, if you paint, draw, whatever, you need to be expressed. Your truth needs to be expressed, and that is how you're going to help the world. That's how you help others, is when you express your internal stuff. Princess of Wands in reverse. It's okay. This goes back to that energy of being afraid to communicate your truth, and it makes it lying, right? Even if you're not a liar, it's like it's lying by omission, by not being like, you know what, here's what I actively feel about this, or, you know, instead of just blindly agreeing with people, you know, and believe me, I've been there, but you can't just blindly agree with people. If you disagree, say it. Disagree. That's why Leos will help you, because that's what they do. If they disagree, they're like, nah, I don't actually agree with that. Okay, cool. You know, and they get on with their lives, and they don't even need conflict in that. And I feel like that's another lesson to be learned here. All right, let's pull some oracle cards. I didn't leave myself shuffling room. Commemoration in reverse. You need to stop being so nostalgic and accept the present as it actually is. Sometimes when we're nostalgic, we romanticize situations thinking that you can return to another time and place or energy. And sometimes the universe is like, no, we progressed past this, and it's time to not be so nostalgic about getting that back, but rather pushing forward to find a new happy ending, right? Because perhaps that past situation isn't the happy ending you're actually meant to have. Perhaps that past situation is meant to show you that you can have a better happily ever after, you know? An inclusive one, right? And because I do see you're not walking away from your situation, but you have to understand that your situation evolved, right? And being able to accept it purely as it is, rather than how you want it to be or how you remember it being, you know? Needs before wants in reverse. So you need to put your needs before your wants. Yeah, that's really hard. But you know, this kind of goes back, where was that card? I think it's this one. Water your garden, right? Nourish your body. Be tender with yourself. Rest. You know, do those things, that self-care shit. That's what you're really being called to do. This is putting your needs before your wants. This is putting your soul before the matter, right? This is about making sure that you are getting that internal abundance, right? What I love about this is she is in water, right? Water in tarot represents love. You're a water sign, right? So that's actually your strength, is love. And sometimes you can be consumed by it. Other times you can swim in it and be balanced in it. But you can't drown your fish. Okay, let's be real. You can't drown in love. You're one of the 3 signs that cannot drown in love, right? I can. I'm a bird, okay? Like, but yeah, dude. You are meant to dive deep, to traverse the depths, to experience life from another viewpoint, right? You have it like a key, you know, like Jesus, born March 20th, Pisces, right? Look at that. That's the power of what a light worker can do, right? Whether or not you believe in the spiritual aspects of him as a prophet, him as a person, what he did, the residual energy that was left. I mean, the age of Pisces literally lasted from Jesus' death until last year when we went into the age of Aquarius, right? And so think about how powerful the energy of Pisces is, right? Think about how powerful those messages can be. All he had to do was be himself. He didn't have to go around, doing anything extra or trying to make people like him. He always said, like, oh, if they disagree, just like brush your shoes off and get to stepping. Like that. You don't need everyone to agree with you. You don't need everyone to like you, but you do need to pursue what is in your soul to pursue. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.